This podcast contains adults using adult language. You have been warned.
Showing literally every piece of Pokemon that's ever been made.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hi. We're talking about
hi there.
Pokemon.
Talking.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to Pokemon Chat. No, wait. That's not today. That's not today? No.
That's not ever.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Mark. So, greetings, gathered throng. It's Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time for Jacques the Poopsmith to make his rounds. Please make sure that you have your feces separated into the appropriate containers and are out on your front stoop by sunrise.
No.
Now
I
that you
hate
said Poopsmith, all I want to do is go watch old Strong Bad Email.
Today, we are back at it with real estate shenanigans. I am St. Brian, your dungeon master for this evening. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons and introduce today's cast. To my right.
I am the man with Olive Garden mints.
You bastard. I want some.
Because
You
last
have
night,
enough to share with the class.
I had infinite breadsticks.
You too, huh?
Infinite breadsticks.
I am
Infinite
bobbing the goldfish and now has a mouthful of chocolate and is trying to speak. I will be playing Corbin Oakenthane, who is recently emerged from under a mountain of paperwork. And to my right,
It's me. Shocker, I know.
Dummy.
It's me,
It's
Akaluz.
me. Akaluz. I'm playing Adrenamaya Gemmaweaver, who does not do that accent because that would drive me nuts.
now.
It's canon. It's canon.
Now, we'll just have to wait till she suffers some kind of traumatic head injury and this breaks into random accents.
Like really, really horrible Italian accents.
Which Fred Flintstone?
That'd be
Oh,
funny
shit.
too.
I should probably close
Ren
WoW.
talks in Yoda the whole time. That gets so bad really quick. Anyways, we're gonna go to Thanuk.
Hi. I'm Thunuk.
No, you're not.
Oh, wait, that's right. I'm Viking Goat. I play Thunuk. Nature Domain Cleric. And that's me.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't say what Corbin was, but fuck it.
And that to my other
Left.
side.
I'm
Left.
blind cleric, and I'm gonna start drinking now
Yeah,
because I need
it's
it.
time.
It's time.
No, I could do a thing, right? I could do a thing where I start off by showing this full bottle, and by the end of the adventure, I use the empty bottle. But,
But now you spoiled it.
I'm not going to do that because
Theater of the mind.
yes,
But I'm playing Hugon Valander, who is deeply tired of the Property Brothers, and really just wants to go home and nap, but can't because now he has other problems that he has to handle.
are the Property Brothers as bad as the Bader Brothers?
I murder is frowned upon. So,
He just didn't like their accents is all.
no, it's not the accents; it's everything about them. Every atom that they're comprised of is a.
Now I
He
know
finds
he
them
has
morally
nothing against
repulsive.
Canadian. Wait, Canadian half works.
It's also that they're half work. It's that they're deeply incompetent, and I hate them.
Did they
Listen.
apologize for that?
They haven't apologized yet.
Well, then they're not Canadian.
No, they're from Icewind Dale.
Oh, okay.
See, it's
I see the distinction now.
it's close.
Yeah.
You can see where the mistake could be made. They're like Canadian adjacent.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
Oh, jeez.
oh jeez. Oh wait, you need to get there. Oh, you can't get there from here.
Oh, no, you got to go a block over and then go north.
All terrible.
and if it's wrong, I don't want to be right.
That's true.
So where we are today. Hey, so by the way, for any of the folks watching from home today, we had made some jokes about it that if you made some comments and wanted free stuff, we'll give you free stuff. Well, I tell you what, if there's any dice
Ooh, do
rolling,
we have a winner?
I don't know. No one. I don't think anyone commented or messaged us on Twitter. But if you make some comments in the chat today and we roll a 20, I'll send you a St. Brian's T-shirt just because
That's pretty fucking
I need to.
cool.
If anyone else has anything laying around their office they want to send in, you could do that too. I'm just trying to clean out my office here.
Yeah, if anyone
Once your empty bottle.
someone rolls another 20, I will send this used snot rag or this empty Wendy's cup.
Oh, we need to mail those things. Will you at least put the snot rag in the Ziploc, or are you just sending it
No,
like al fresco?
Oh, I'll make one custom.
Each one will be custom made for your use.
Artisanal, fair trade, organic.
I
Free
hate.
range snot rag.
I hate all.
This is all terrible and gross.
Yeah. I hate.
And you love it.
Well, hey, listen. Will it be like numbered and limited edition,
Oh God.
Sure.
signed
Yeah.
by the creator?
Yep.
All of these things. So, anyways, the actual Dungeons and Dragons.
Sure.
Hey, so what we did, we started last week with a one shot, and in true Eat, Drink, Roll fashion, we're now part 2 of our one shot, which we knew we were going to come back to eventually. We just
So
decided.
who did the crime in Flaming by Torchlight, by the way?
We don't know.
Okay.
Well, we do, but it's unsolved
No,
mysteries.
warrants have not been issued yet.
Unsolved mysteries.
I don't remember anymore.
Speaking of unsolved mysteries, I got a joke for you. Why does Edward Woodward's name have so many D's in it?
Why?
What?
Because otherwise he'd be Iwa Woowa.
Oh God.
Who's Edward Woodward anyway?
He's
The guy that
person
hosts
who
it.
hosts unsolved mysteries.
Hey,
It's
From
okay.
back in the day?
It's an American thing.
anyways, so Half Orc Property Brothers Part 2. The team had floated the idea of opening up some kind of coffee house with the potential of franchising that, but just as another means of generating income. You know, residuals and whatnot. Just so you always say, you always want a steady stream coming in. And applications had been made and forms had been filled out, and the home office had approved of a 2,000 gold piece budget to both purchase a property available to them in Pinedale and also renovate it so that way they could open up said coffee franchise. After the Half Orc Property Brothers, Gru and Than had showed 4 different properties. It turns out that the one that seemed to have the most upward potential had excellent location, located right on the market square. So excellent place for foot traffic. Very quaint, very rustic. There happened to be, a vampire squatting in it. But that's sort of the way it goes.
I'm still mad about.
So, where Hugon had really been going for the undergrounds, the Princess Bride inspired underground location that was just outside of the town proper, very defensible,
Extraordinarily
defensible. Had its own garbage disposal unit in the form of a gelatinous cube trapped in a pit within. But obviously, little light on the foot traffic.
And had uncooperative doors.
Uncooperative.
Yeah, very.
Yes. Oh, that's right. It had the some of the doors occasionally would shift into weird extra planner. Hey, you're gonna go in one door and come out the other. So you could do Scooby-Doo chase scenes. Likely left over somehow from the previous inhabitant, which happened to be a wizard. But during the course of this, it seemed like, hey, the vampire, who seemed, initially to be kind of, not very, murder-ish. The plan that the team had come up with was, let's see if we can get the vampire to relocate to a different location. And in exchange, they would then be able to take on this renovation project. And Hugon had said, well, wait a minute. Let's see if there's a way to turn this into franchise revenue, and had negotiated with one of the captains of the new city guard that they could then, in exchange of their normal fee for removing a vampire, they would get the property for free. So,
And a grand.
oh, that's right, and there was 1,000 gold pieces on top of that. So,
Yeah, so
basically, gold.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
I got
there's
lucky.
a lot of bullshit.
I got real lucky.
This may now be the richest D&D character I've ever fucking had.
Well, for now.
What
What
do you
happened
think now?
No,
We own the property.
you do.
If we can get the vampire out.
Yeah,
Now,
we have to
technically-
remove said vampire.
We haven't done that bit yet.
No, we haven't
Yeah.
done that bit.
Technically, the franchise will own the property as well, so, and we don't necessarily won't own it.
Yeah, but this isn't a job that is being negotiated through Acquisitions Incorporated.
No, so the
So
1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the 1,000 gold will still be 250 gold each, which will still make me the richest fucking D&D character I've ever fucking had.
Huh.
See
I'm
why
looking
we're
forward.
excited?
I got lucky.
I'm gonna go make it rain.
Yeah.
ow,
Literally,
ow, ow, ow,
No. Literally, I'm just gonna go pay a shaman like 10 gold.
ow. Dude, can you make it rain?
We need
Are you
rain
gonna-
right now.
will you
Right here?
bless
Yeah,
the
go.
rooms?
But yeah, so that 1,000 gold would be contingent upon removing the vampire who revealed his name to be Hassim bin Abuya.
Shibuya? Yeah.
Bin Abuya, not Shabuya, not Shamon,
Shabupi.
Shimon!
not Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan?
None of these things.
Shawshank Redemption?
No.
Bravo.
Shish kebab.
Why do I feel like we're in Ace Ventura?
I'm pretty sure I walked into my own office this morning or this afternoon and I ended up here somehow. At any rate,
these rhinos.
so that's kind of where we had left things. Dren and Thunuk had re-entered the property to speak with Hassim, and Thunuk knows, while he doesn't know the exact process, he knows there is a way to undead the undead and basically remove the vampiric curse as well. So there would have to be some research involved there. But he and that was the pitch that we had left it off with. He had offered, hey, we have this other place that you might be able to go squat, and we can potentially remove the whole vampire thing.
So can I use one of my invisible retcon coins?
Hold on. Bob's got a question.
Because I had even said last week, this would be so much easier if we could pick up our dwarf friend that's really good at talking to people.
Well, he
On our
happened
way
to
over
be
to
doing a
talking-
lot of paperwork.
Yes.
You don't know how complicated it is being a documenter for that fucking thing.
Yes. So
And not to
I want to go
mention,
bug him.
not to mention when that one is also trying to train a minor.
Yes.
Lots of fucking paperwork.
Yeah.
Not to mention that one time that we killed all of the Duke's retinue without losing any hit points. It's canon now.
I said it. Can't undo it. Hey,
Fine.
remember that time?
Ping, ping, ping. What does that sound? Oh, that's
We-
us leveling.
I'm initiating a new rule. Whenever we use a retcon coin, you got to do the thing.
I like it. I do like that. So are you saying you'd like to take a step back, and we won't obviously use a retcon coin for this, that before going back into the dark roasted bodega, as it had been called, where the vampire was, are you
No,
saying that you would
no,
rather
no.
go collect your documancer who's just been
Yes.
buried under mounds of paperwork, of which we will then eventually go back and show what the cause of all the paperwork was. And
And-
forms.
So she tried to take the thing apart, even though it was sentient.
That's a serious. That's a lot of forms.
And
Tried to get to its Tootsie Roll center.
she claimed to make it portable, but it's got fucking legs.
No, I didn't want to make it portable. I wanted to make it pocket
This is in
size.
character. This is in character.
Yes, so if you want to go down, I'm assuming, Corbin, if you had this much paperwork, you would probably have retreated to,
Oh, I'm totally in the basement.
yeah, and just,
I'm in
You've-
the office.
you've got your tea.
I've got a nice mug of coffee. Probably ordered down some lunch from the from the food truck. I've probably got
So have you guys been
So-
like taste testing the coffee up to this point, knowing that this was kind of something you wanted to do? Is there like
Well,
what
no.
kind of blend would what kind of roast, what kind of blend would Corbin be drinking?
probably a hazelnut blend at this point,
Hmm.
because that's what I'm actually drinking.
Okay. That seems perfectly reasonable. Now, would
Um,
that be like hazelnut notes, or would it be that you've actually like you've got some like hazelnut powder that you have? And
Well, I'm
you're...
thinking more like there'd be some hazelnuts and stuff in the roasting.
Oh, like you're starting like right at the beginning,
Yeah,
right in there.
because remember, Corbin doesn't drink.
No. This is
So he's probably been like grilling, like
grilling.
roasting his own coffee for a while.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's probably called something very, very different in D&D. Like, it's probably not called roasting. It's probably called like fireballing or something.
fireballing.
Just a fuckload of hazelnut wood, some beans, and a fireball. Couple of firebolts from Dren.
That's roasted.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
that
what you use Rozzy for. He's got the fire thing. Just
Razi probably has a little bit more control over like so that way if you wanted to experiment with like how dark the roast
Like
is.
dark roast, light roast.
Yeah.
yeah.
So this would probably be like a hazelnut light roast.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to decide if Dren would be black coffee because she's too lazy and she's focused on doing
Oh,
stuff, or she would be
totally black.
hopped up on sugar.
Or would she be more of like an espresso roast? Like high caffeine.
I'm not gonna lie. Of all of us, Dren is the most likely to order like a non-soy half calf, double shot, triple
Triple
brew.
whip.
Yeah,
Something.
maybe
She's
if
like
I'm
drinking.
ordering-
She's drinking the spice from Dune, and she's becoming prescient.
Right?
Oh,
So she's drinking one of these ridiculous coffees, right? Thunuk is probably
something
one that's
really
gonna,
overcomplicated. I like
Yeah.
that.
Thunuk's probably the one that's going to order the thing that's already been digested by something.
God.
It's just a cup of mud.
It's just,
And I get
he gives the
feeling-
coffee to the bird. The bird
No, 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 no,
regurgitates
no.
it.
There is a very, very set precedent that there's several expensive coffee beans that are pre-digested by animals.
Oh,
Yes.
you're right.
Yes.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
chocolates too.
That's actually pretty damn horrible for the animal too.
I'm fairly sure that Hugon would be the guy that drinks the cup of mud.
It needs to be appreciated that in order for the coffee to last longer in the field, they put dirt in it.
Yeah.
It's like a half mixture.
Very
Yeah.
lot of earth notes.
A lot of earth notes.
Little crunchy.
It's like this coffee tastes like back when we were in this land. Well, it does that because it tastes like it because it actually
The
has
terroir. The
It
coffee
has-
has a certain terroir to it.
It's got certain earthy flavors.
I see
Um,
pulling out a piece of grass. He's like, "Oh, that's why."
It's a
And-
bit nutty.
This coffee tastes like shit, Basil.
That's because it is shit.
No.
No, Tunic wouldn't actually drink that coffee because it's really bad for the animals.
Oh, yeah.
They're forced to eat that stuff. They're not. It's not like, oh well, that civet cat ate it and then pooped it out, and I guess we can clean it and make coffee out of it. It's the civet cat is in a cage eating coffee.
But no, that's like our Earth version. In Faerun, would it be more like the fair trade organic?
No, in Faerun, they'd cast speak with the animals and go, "Are you hungry?"
you want to make
I'm
them some
thinking
money?
that we need to have like
Could you
a
imagine
side.
Philip started his own company with all the birds?
It's true.
Start selling the stuff.
Good point.
No,
It's
I
built
think
in.
that we need to have a side part for Fnuk to have his own teas.
Oh, well, yeah, you wouldn't want to have, you wouldn't, I mean, that's what you need in a coffee house, right? You need to have,
Yeah, we need to have the coffee, but Fnuk can do his specialty stuff with plants, and it can be teas.
And I'll like start like a whiskey operation, and we can spike the coffee.
I'm okay with that
That's
too.
what I was thinking is with Corbin, is he probably roasts his own coffee,
Mhm.
but because of his history in the monastery, he probably does things like tea ceremonies and
Mm.
stuff.
Oh, well,
like
then you
that.
can have like some events, you know,
Yeah.
you know, this is, well, then it
Mhm.
goes back because one of the places you guys saw, it was the Twisted 2 store. You talked about turning that into an event space.
Yeah, but we're literally in town square now.
Yeah, well, you have
So we
money.
can party it literally right there.
Do
Anyway.
not dare try to entice us into more than one location.
Anyway,
No.
so we haven't even actually started playing.
No,
That's
but
right.
what, this is all the conversations you guys were probably having at some point before you filled out all these forms, because you had to present a business plan to the home office. They're not just going to like shell out 2,000 gold for you to
This is true.
do all this. So there's probably some thoughts here that, oh, well, listen, Corbin knows how to roast coffee. And so this is part of the operation, right? Is that you now are taking the locally sourced coffee, and Hugon knows how to make some decent rot gut, you know, and and you know that, I mean, there is a
He's in the back making pruno.
I'm honestly, I honestly find it hard to believe that in the actual main story there isn't a still somewhere yet.
that Hugon's made.
Yeah.
Again, that is kind of like he absolutely knows how to do it and has been on several occasions tempted, but he hasn't been pressed that hard toward that direction as
Does he not have a travel still in his kit?
No, I'm talking like if you ever seen MASH, the
Yeah.
still pick up the middle of the hand.
Yes.
See, right now Hugon's more in the mode of like the Master, where the guy was just able to make liquor out of like anything.
Yeah.
Like when they were draining the torpedoes for the like, you know, the brake fluid or
where
whatever.
it's the fuel that runs the torpedo. It's actually grain alcohol.
Yeah. So then you know that Drenmai is going to get to it because, you know, shiny and
Set it on
constructed.
fire.
And then Thunuk, he probably has knows exactly which leaves to harvest. There is you know, a distilling and brewing operations that are in place here. So there's also the opportunity to partner, you know, where you have your special blends in your partner brand. So
And we can always export.
well, that's what you guys had talked about, right? Was that eventually, you know, you prove the business model here.
Shit's going Faerun wide.
If this picks up, fuck Team X. We're moving to Waterdeep and opening.
No. That'll be, instead of Team Xenagog, we'll just be like venture capitalists that Acquisitions Incorporated is like, go start not only a franchise, but we need to build other brands.
Oh,
We'll be Team Siren Bucks.
team what?
Team
Siren
Staterbucks.
Starter box. I love it. And these are all places that we're gonna write down because listen, the future, as Tom Petty said, the future was wide open. But now, in this moment, Thunuk and not Clues, Thunuk and Drenmai are you? Well, so first of all, Hugon, you negotiated the deal. Did you was the plan just for everyone to reconnoiter back at the office, or?
Well, I think if I recall correctly, Hugon didn't really want to be further involved with the vampire.
Yeah.
There was some
he
concern,
wanted nothing to do with it.
So what's going to happen is Hugon is going to be on the outside, like just for him. I don't know what anybody else is doing. They're going to go have a conversation with the horrifying undead super predator, and Hugon is going to be outside waiting for it to go wrong, so that he is fully justified when he.
So
goes
he could
inside,
say, "I told you so,"
and so that he can kick in the door and hopefully at least delay their inevitable deaths, so that they can escape. I'm not sure beyond that, beyond clear the square and like get people indoors and away, because there's a fucking vampire that nobody else knows about.
Not even Corbin at this point.
Not even Corbin at this point,
Yeah.
which I imagine that's going to be a fun conversation.
Oh,
On that note, though, I get the feeling that Hugon, having just sold the town guard on a gig, he might want to fill out the paperwork, and that's how
Absolutely.
how he goes and runs into Corbin.
And I was kind of thinking about how that was.
Okay, sorry.
Or we can just reconvene at the office in a timely and let's get the fuck on with it manner.
That's true. Do we
Well,
want
why? We've only wasted a half hour talking about the possibility. Listen, we bring up coffee, and this is what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, good bullshit.
Okay, so either me or all of us, it's up to you guys.
Everyone's just
Okay,
reconnoiters at the same time.
Yeah, because I need to go back to grab Dwarf Friend and explain to him what's going on and try not to light the giant mountain of paperwork in front of him on fire.
Right.
Maybe I should talk to Dwarf Friend.
Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
You're probably
Maybe
still
I-
trying to
maybe
work.
I've been
You're probably still
testing
trying to work out
coffee.
how my writing desk works.
That's probably true. I might since I'm short, I might sneak in there and try to push buttons and shit.
And yet,
I'd
it just
have
still
I'd have
doesn't.
tracked-
It's...
I'd have tracked it by now.
So this is going to be one of those Hugon is always worried about knocking on this door, particularly when Corbin is inside working.
Oh, the way I see that's interesting because it was described to me as a stable. What used to be a stable.
yeah. Underground is like
So to me,
Yeah.
what I thought of is there's like a main center table,
hmm
and then there's like 5 stalls.
Oh,
So we
wow.
don't actually have doors. It's like we have cubicles.
No, I like that. I like that more.
It's a
I was-
combination of like the cubicle and open, open
Yeah.
work environment.
So basically, Hugon it hangs out outside the cubicle until he finishes a document, and then kind of thumps on the post.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you're busy.
Well, I'm kind of getting to the end of the pile now. What you need?
You know how we got head office to approve the little sub franchise with the whole coffee.
Right? Yeah.
Brood Awakening.
I'm sorry. What?
Brood Awakening.
Oh my god, Dren, go
I
away.
did lots of puns last week.
And Hugon, it looks harrowed and haggard and really, really frustrated.
I've
he's
been around Dren by
really
myself.
he's really holding it together. We've looked at the locations and we've settled on one. There's a vampire in it. I'm just gonna say that out front.
Wait, quick question. Let me time this off before you guys go. Are we there? Because we
Yes.
went to go see.
Everyone's there.
Everyone's here, just for ease of not having to explain everything 12 times.
Okay. You see, Thunuk has a couple of sheets of paper
Mhm.
and a pen. He's very happy. Continue. Sorry.
There's a vampire in it.
I wrote things.
Right. I have questions.
I'm here to field those for you.
Okay.
I have answers.
Shh.
From, like,
You be,
someone
you be
understanding.
quiet, Dren. This is your fault.
Let's start with Thunuk.
Okay.
You're looking mighty pleased with yourself, and you've got paper and pen.
Yes.
Why?
You weren't there, so I wrote things down for you.
Okay.
Here are the notes.
So you,
And he hands you a big sheet of paper, like a bunch of notes.
yeah.
Good luck reading them because it all looks like bird footprints and scratches, and
Is it an actual language?
It makes sense to Thunuk.
it makes sense to Thunuk and maybe other people.
Because if it's an actual language, I have comprehend languages.
Oh, okay.
Did you write it in Bird?
No, I wrote it in Druidic.
Oh.
Oh,
That is
well,
a
then, yeah.
language.
Then yeah,
It
he'd
is
be
a
able to read. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
But it's
I'll clock that straight away and be like, "Thanks, mate," and put it to the side.
okay. But yeah,
And in the other side of the inbox, that's
So then
well,
I turn,
portions of it are in Druidic, and portions are in like cheap chirp.
yeah.
When he asks us to speak to animals.
Squeak, squeaker, squeaky, squeaky, squeaky.
Squeak, squeakers, squeak, squeakins.
Every so often, you'll read something that's like, "Is that the sound of wind through grass?"
Is this an onomatopoeia?
All right, so then I turn to Dren, and I'm like, right.
I didn't do
And
it.
I literally look her in the eye, and I give her the old focus, and I purposely close the writing desk, and I'm like, right. A, who chose the building?
Not just me.
B, have you settled on the name?
I've have a couple,
No.
but no. I figured we'd vote on
C,
that.
And this might be the most important question.
Mhm.
Why the fuck are we vampire?
Uh-huh.
He seems
he's
nice.
Really nice. See,
And
For
like
nothing
you
I
see
know.
Hugon like grit his teeth and like a vein begin to throb in his forehead.
Have I ever heard in my many readings
Hmm.
of a non-evil vampire?
Yes.
Okay.
It's you know that there are some who embrace the curse, but and in general, once you know, it's like I'm trying to think of once you go vamp, you never go whatever.
Oh, don't say that.
You never go campy sparkle.
You never
I'm a
sparkle,
vampire.
never sparkle. But you
Literally
do.
not a vampire.
But you've heard of ones that have attempted to resist their baser urges and have been able to. They generally try to limit their exposure.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about like I'm not trying to be like why they do it. I'm just like, is there a case study like where I'm like, oh, I'm
It's
not going
not-
to instantly judge that vampires are evil.
In from your readings, I mean, generally speaking, yeah, the initial reaction is kill it with fire,
Mhm.
but it's not completely unheard of that there are some that you would not classify as your like evil, that are not Strahd in nature.
So I'm then going to look at Dren again, just keeping the eye focus. And what do we know about this person? Fella, lass?
It was a guy, and he.
So you've been in his presence.
We went in his house. Well, not
And-
his house.
Hugon
Twice.
can kind of nods. and says,
Mm.
Oh, we'll get to you.
When the property brothers or the orc dudes.
What do we know about the vampire? Stay on topic.
He doesn't like being a vampire, and he kind of wants to keep to himself. So what we were thinking is we see if he wants to go to a better place that isn't in the middle of town where he could murder people, and it's on the outside of town underground.
Okay, define better and place.
Well, I think our Hugon friend should describe this
No.
whole
Where do you want to send him?
one of the other empty locations that we visited.
You can't just move the problem.
Nobody wants it, trust me, except Hugon. It's underground. There's the slime cube, the gelatinous cube hellhole, and you can't walk in a door without going to another door. Nobody will want this place.
"Oh God."
And he's going to turn to Hugon and go,
Except Hugon.
I'm going to go literally like this, even though I've not got a watch. I'm going to go, you've got exactly 30 seconds to start talking before I start asking questions.
Do wristwatches exist in Faerun? And
It doesn't matter.
I'm sure that they do.
No, he's got a sundial on his wrist.
No, it's built into the wrist.
It's the gauntlet. It's on the gauntlet. I have done my utmost to explain to them that the vampire should not be trusted, and he isn't nice. They haven't listened. I was outvoted. And
Not sure how a vote could happen without all 4 members of the team.
Weren't there.
That means you can't officially take a vote.
Let me rephrase that. I was outnumbered.
Okay.
And I can't kill it. We can't fight it. We'll lose. We will not succeed at that. The guard can't.
Why are we trying to fight it?
We're not, and that's why this plan happened.
Okay. May I make an, I don't know,
I didn't make the plan.
a small suggestion?
I'm open to it.
This is just me, right? But we've got a vampire that doesn't want to be a vampire and likes keeping to himself. I'm smelling profit.
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Seneca's checking his pits. He's checking the bottom of his shoes.
I
Where his
admit to having
brother.
biases against undead.
No shade.
Just the
So
undead.
just-
Also non-humans.
I'm working on it.
That's true. But what I'm saying is we have a remit from head office, do we not?
We do.
To always keep our eyes out for potential new hires.
Oh my god.
Yes, because this is what
Corbin.
I wanted last week.
Could we not put him in touch with head office, who have much more of the resources to help his condition than we do?
Well, we kind of promised the vampire that we would help solve vampirism.
And this is
At which point, finger up in front of Hugon. Head turns. What?
Well, see, we were talking. Okay, so screw the retcon. We talked to the vampire. We had that whole conversation because that happened after, and then we went and talked to our friend, to our dwarf. Yeah, we, Thaduk and I were trying to talk him into going to our other spot, which he was kind of cool with because it was away from more people.
Hmm.
And in trade, we kind of said that we would try and help him solve his vampirism.
He seemed very on board with it.
He did.
Okay.
But I don't know any level 9 sorcerers.
I'm sorry. What's a level?
OC.
No, I think Dren would almost be almost like in that what am I thinking of? Not Deathstroke.
Deadpool.
Deadpool thing where for her
Fourth panel break.
she has classified people into
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
Because if we could put head office in contact with a vampire, that would provide very interesting knowledge for them, and it would help him solve his problem, wouldn't it? Two birds with one stone.
We could suggest
And we
it,
can
too.
apply for a finder's fee.
I'm fine with this.
Well, yeah, it's like once they stay on for like 30 days and have passed like their evaluation, there's the recruitment fee, the referral fee, yeah, commensurate with the amount of money that they're getting paid, and
Of course.
yeah, I mean it's all about the level. You recruit an intern, you pretty much pay them.
At this point, I'd probably suggest to Corbin, why don't we go talk to him? Because Thanuk and I were just there, but that's Thanuk and I, and we're
What
not
time is it?
eloquent.
What
We
time
were
did
there
we?
in the morning.
We said it was probably like mid-afternoon by this point, after you guys had toured the houses.
Yeah, because he didn't want to stand in the doorway when we knocked on the door, so it was sometime during the day. I think it's in the morning.
And we didn't really travel too far, considering that the Property Brothers were going on about how
It's
It
amazing.
was
This is right on.
Yeah, it's in town.
This is
we're
right on
town
the town
front.
square. It's less than a block.
Yeah.
their measurement of commutes for us from where we were living was like minute plus
Terrible.
fractions of seconds.
It's terrible.
And we've talked to the Property Brothers.
Yeah,
How
they
much
took,
You
is-
want to meet him?
How
They're
much?
great.
How much are we paying for the property?
oh,
We're not. I kind of got it.
We kind of cut him out of the deal.
What happened was that because the vampire situation and wasn't exactly sure if it was smart to involve the guard, I basically told the guard that we can handle this situation for payment and also the deed to the building.
We should at least give them a finder's fee.
I
Yeah.
don't. Okay. I mean,
Even though they didn't know about the vampire, but
even though that they're awful and they're terrible at their jobs, sure, we'll give them a finder's fee, I guess.
listen, you don't know what's in the house until you open up the walls, man. I mean,
we still don't know what's in there. We've got shitty corners in that building. We haven't even been allowed upstairs yet. Dren just kind of got the shiny, ooh, I want this, and that's kind of how
it's
it went.
it's like when Ray Stans finds the firehouse when the Ghostbusters are looking for their headquarters. We should stay here overnight. This place should be condemned. We should stay here.
And it's in a demilitarized zone.
When one of your party falls in love with something, you just kind of roll with it.
I'm thinking about putting
Hey,
you in a
guys, did you
barrel
see
and
this?
rolling you into the river.
She'd probably be really excited about that.
So when we're talking about giving them a finder's fee, and Hugon seems hesitant.
It's not hesitant. He's just not very good at explaining what he managed to pull off. We're getting if we get rid of the vampire, we get the building for free, and when we get paid on top of that.
Aye, but we should still give a fee to the Property Brothers, regard if we get the building for free.
Okay, I guess.
Just remember, the 21st rule of acquisition.
Always give the Property Brothers their finder's fee.
Never place friendship above profit.
That's a
I have to write all
horrible
these down at some
thing
point.
to say, but okay.
No, just out of character, I just saw Bob glance off screen. Do you have the list of the rules of acquisition next to your computer? You
No.
do? Please tell me you do.
Do you have the poster?
That's amazing, and I love it. That's yes.
Quick explanation. Occasionally, when I play like Civ 5 and things with my friends,
Mhm.
I will play as Venice,
Yes.
and I will only follow the Ferengi rules of acquisition. Because they're all about generating money. My favorite. Where is it?
Declare peace with your enemies.
Yes,
Declare peace.
Yes.
It confuses the hell out of your enemies.
Every once in a while, declare peace. It confuses the hell out of your enemies. There's a 76th rule of acquisition, and it happened in the DS9 episode, The Homecoming. But back in character, the point being, if we can keep these Property Brothers on side, they can always be useful in the future. Such as when we worm our way into their business, take it over from the inside, and gain all their profit.
I think Hugon would argue their usefulness.
I don't like them. That doesn't mean they're not a resource.
They kind of didn't know there was a vampire in their building that they were.
They kind of
trying to
didn't know
sell.
that one of their buildings was haunted, one of their
There
buildings was built
Faye in
shittily,
the other one.
and then the third building was
Oh, I'm pretty sure they knew the building was built shittle.
That's how they were able to get the prices they got on them.
Out of character, do the property brothers make their money off of finding and buying a house in our name, or do they make their money off of fixing them up?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's on both sides. So they're going to get, it's a real estate agent, so they're going to take a fee from the seller,
hmm
whoever the seller is. They get their commission off of that.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to meet these property brothers.
And then
Well,
on
especially
top
if
of
we're
the
gonna
renovation
use
project.
the other one to renovate, because we're gonna need to renovate, especially if we're gonna turn. It's kind of like home/business, but we need to turn it into our coffee
We'll
slash
get to
tea
that
place.
later. Let's worry about the fucking vampire,
Okay.
right? But yes,
Dren's already
I want
likes
to,
tinkering.
but I want to meet these property brothers.
Oh,
Just-
you should.
An interesting question has been raised. Who is the seller?
Oh, Hugon
It's
did
owned by
discover
the
that.
city.
Yeah, it was owned by the city.
Mhm.
The property's been abandoned for a while, and just
Oh,
And now we know why.
yeah.
In that case, fuck them. Let's just go talk
Yeah.
to the vampire.
All right. I have already made it clear that to them, I'm just bringing this up, that I think it would be better for negotiations if I wasn't in the room with the vampire, because he and I got off on the wrong foot, and
I am perfectly okay with that.
just wanted to bring that up. That's why I'll be waiting outside in full kit, waiting. If you give me the signal, I'll come
If I
in.
need to, I will shout pineapples.
Fantastic. What's a pineapple?
It's a very interesting fruit we had in the monastery.
Oh,
And it's
Okay.
not an
Well,
apple, and it does
It's
not
cookies.
grow on pine trees.
well,
And
yeah.
one of our many masters. He was a bit of a fusion magic nut and tried to take an apple and fuse it with a writing implement.
I have a pen. I have an apple. For
Funny.
those that didn't get the joke.
For those of you, no, that's actually kind of funny. When back when my brother and I used to say that
They
whenever,
have killed the dungeon master.
You guys win D&D. Great game, guys.
he's dead, we've won.
See you guys next week.
Told you the vampire wouldn't be a problem.
It's like the Monty Python, and then the animator died of a sudden heart attack.
What was your story, cleric?
I was gonna say that was when my brother and I, when we first started playing the Division, when things got super fucked up, it would be like, "Oh, it's pin pineapple apple time."
I get 8 grenades.
Yeah,
Pinch pineapple,
and so
apple,
it's just
pen.
spam grenades all day long. How many
Anyway.
grenades do you have left? 0.
It's this very interesting fruit that we had in the monastery that came from an accident of one of the masters trying to fuse an apple and the ripening implement.
Oh, that's
What was that noise?
It goes,
sounds like a truck.
goes really well on pizza.
What's a
Goes
pizza?
awesome on pizza.
What?
We need to expand your culinary taste.
Well,
I
let's-
want to open a kitchen with our coffee joints.
Listen,
I would like to point out for those listening on the podcast that after I mentioned that, I do believe Brian's going to fume himself to death.
Yeah.
You're a monster.
Yeah, and
you say that as if it's not surprising.
I'm a monster eating delicious fucking pizza. Anyway,
Yes, it does. Belongs there. Don't argue. What is
Anyway.
that sound? Jesus Christ.
who has the fucking trucks going by?
That'd be me. There'd be somebody that definitely isn't in need of a new muffler.
God.
Anyway, I suggest we go talk to this guy.
What, the vampire or the property brothers?
The vampire. I already
Okay.
said fuck those.
You know, the
Shut-
He wasn't very though. He was more
he wears sunglasses at night.
He's cool.
He wears sunglasses at night and a trench coat, and he's very angsty. In another
Black
world, they're going to
suit
create a
and all.
whole role-playing system around this.
Not the
Yes.
hair, never the hair. Anyone who gets that reference is my hero.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay, so
I want to
we'll
go
take
talk
it-
to the
it's
vampire.
literally like a 5-second walk because we're here. He's literally right over there. I don't know how we've missed a vampire for since we've been here, but cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna as we're walking up, we'll be like, okay, the location's all right.
It's awesome.
And I'll knock the door.
He's really polite. We knocked last time.
Okay, you
Back
knock
in the corner.
knock on the door. The door opens.
And before the door opens, I'm going to look over at Dren and go, this better be worth it. This is a lot of work.
But it's free. And you can't argue with free.
He's like, well, yeah,
Nope. I'm not arguing.
there
Yeah.
is that.
I just wanted to make the coffee pun.
We got to get to the puns,
Wait,
Rise
what did I
and
miss? How did I
grind.
miss? Oh,
It's a latte work.
oh,
It's
that
not-
gotcha. Okay.
I think I
Come
did
on,
that
man.
one last week too. Yeah.
So the door opens. Now, so when you just for the sake of Corbin, who hadn't seen this building before, it is like this little kind of bodega-looking place on right on the town square. There, the windows are all there's boards up on all the windows, but very nice. Very it needs a let's see. So you walk in.
Well, I'm going to wait for him to answer the door.
No. He opens the door or the door
But it's
opens.
sunny,
Excuse
so
me.
he's back
Okay.
there.
You hear Hasim's voice from inside. Bid you welcome.
I'll kind of say, I'm here with Drenmai and Dummett. Can I come in?
We're back.
Like this little Drenmai like kind of just pokes out from behind Corbin's like leg, and
She's not that much shorter than me.
no, it doesn't mean that she wasn't hidden. I'm not saying she was hiding back there, but just like
Well, then she pop out behind my shoulder, not my fucking leg. She's not butt
How
height.
tall is Corbin?
He's like 3.5 feet. 4
Okay,
foot
yeah, because
tops.
I'm 3 foot 2.
Yeah, so they're
okay.
yeah. He's not that. She's not that much taller than him. Shorter than him.
But there is there
is definitely
shoulder
the
width.
Aspect. Yes.
Corbin's a square. I'm more of a rectangle.
Yeah. Anyway,
anyways, and he says, "Yes, please. You are welcome in my home."
thank you. I appreciate that.
And just to give you an idea of what you're seeing when you're in here, obviously this is a place very, very dimly lit. No natural light getting in. That would be, kind
Death.
of that would be against the whole idea. You do happen to notice that the floors seem to be the original hardwood floors. Good shape, need to be restored. Need a sanding and a I guess there would be some kind of lacquer or varnish available, to take care of that. Definitely has a nice rustic charm. Plaster walls. Popcorn ceiling though. And that was one of the things that needs to be getting rid of. That was part of the
Faerun
reno plan.
popcorn. Mhm.
Faerunian popcorn ceiling.
It's like
Yeah.
a fungus. It's a fungus.
It's a fungus.
It might be a fungal infection on the plaster in the ceiling.
We'll have to get some inspections done.
But you see in the back of the room, out of the way of the shaft of light that comes in through the door, is this gentleman, dark skin, very well trimmed, well kept, oiled beard, flowing robes of like purple and blue. And he like gives like a very small bow, like hand on his chest, and
I would echo that. And I would look at him and I would say, my friends have been filling me in on their conversation with you and about the promise to help cure your situation, should we say.
They had made mention of that, yes.
Well, can I be completely honest with you?
Of course.
I am 90% sure that the actual process to reverse your condition is beyond the four of us. However, we are members of a large organization, and I know that other members of our organization would have the ability to help you. We are willing to aid you in making contact with them, and maybe even because I'm unsure how one of your condition travels. I'm not as
At great effort and expense.
aye. But the point being that the company we represent can help you. The four of us aren't gonna probably be able to do so. We want to help you in any way we can. And to be honest, honesty, I find, is often the best policy. It lies. I just feel that you needed to know the facts.
Let's do a persuasion check on that.
Okay. Drums, please.
All right, there.
Well, if anyone's watching and makes a comment,
Hmm.
you're giving away a T-shirt. Womp womp.
20.
Womp, womp, womp.
Bob, you were metal as fuck. That's great.
So
my,
yeah.
my IRL group thanks you because I didn't roll anything but ones and twos last week.
I'm sorry. That sucks when that
The
happens.
so yeah, for the folks who are watching currently on Twitch, go ahead and start making some comments there in the chat, and we will choose someone to send you a T-shirt. The next person gets a custom.
No, they don't.
No.
Don't do that.
So you can see like some of his body language, kind of, not that he was like stiff before, this, but you can see it does relax a bit.
Mhm.
Not so much in that he was wary before of, oh, I'm in danger right now, but more like do I trust this person or these people who are coming through? And you can see that that's definitely,
That was a 25 total, by the way.
I think that would be sufficient
Okay.
for our purposes here. So yeah, so they he says, I am not surprised that it would not be one of you who would be potentially
Mhm.
be able to solve this. It's something that I've been searching for the answer for many, many long years.
Mm.
But may I ask what this organization is?
We represent a group known as Acquisitions Incorporated.
And you can see he's like, you can see it. It's almost like his eyes are like scanning, like almost like he's like reading
He's in his
something.
mind palace.
Yeah, he's like, yes, I have read about them. I tend to agree. I think that if they might have the resources.
Just two pieces of advice.
Mm-hmm.
Never trust the redhead.
The redhead?
The Ari.
Oh,
Oh, and while he's around, never stand near a chandelier.
Good to know.
And the second piece of advice is don't let the wizard, dark magic, talk any of his bollocks at you.
I've long since stopped caring about that kind of thing.
Hmm.
What do you think the price might be? Because something like this, in my experience, is never given
Well,
away for free.
honestly, my friend, I don't know. I genuinely do not know. We could spend weeks and weeks and weeks exchanging letters and the research and getting it done in order to find out, or we could just figure it out. I mean, how long? This is a really strange question, but how long have you had this condition? I feel like a doctor.
How long have you had this on your back? He says, it's been several centuries.
I mean, I know you like to be fairly solitary from
Hey, Bubba.
what my friends are telling me,
Bubba.
but I'm fairly sure that in exchange for some knowledge and things like that you may have that they don't, that I'm sure that can help. A being as old as yourself is surely knowledgeable in things that others are not.
He says, that is certainly true.
And between you and me, even if when you're cured, it's not a bad health plan.
And somewhere in the distance, you hear Jim Dark Magic saying, "Do they have a health plan?"
We do. We have a cure built into our bracelets.
Well, Omen would never allow that for like his team because then
Oh yeah, then they wouldn't need him.
exactly.
But like, you could do worse than to work for the company. It's a steady income of gold. Sure, you may not want to work in the Waterdeep office, but we've got some fairly remote. Hell, once you're cured, you could come on back to Pinedale and work with us if you like
Oh,
being.
my books are all here.
Just saying.
They're
You can hear Hugon cursing outside.
middle finger just coming up out of nowhere. Just
I feel a great anger somewhere.
and he
Did you
says,
say once he's cured?
I just hear this like thump, like an ow, my finger, like he hit the wall.
It's like his hand is like, pat.
I mean, how long have you been in Pinedale?
He says, it's been several decades. And
Do I get the feeling this is a super powerful vampire?
that would be, let's see, would that be a perception? Would that be insight?
Insight, maybe?
Insight, yeah, let's do an insight.
Hugon rolls out of nowhere. We did this. We can't fucking take him.
Are vampires arcane in nature?
Technically,
They
yes,
could be.
but also
I guess
technically
maybe.
divine.
19 on insight.
Yeah, you really don't have a feel one way or the other for.
But from what Hugon said to me earlier, Hugon has proven to be a fairly accurate reading of people in the past.
But he says, I came here several decades ago because I found there's something about this place that kept the hunger at bay. I don't know if it's just a confluence of energies or I wish I've been trying to discover what it is, but
You don't need to eat.
no. But the desire to hunt the people is just abated. And on top of that, what I found to be most interesting is that the ore that they mine here has, I don't know what the specific properties of the impurities in it are, but it's in everything.
I just
And
feel
everything-
I can feel Dren's ears like, huh?
And he says, and there's just something, it's just in everything. The dust is everywhere, and just the people that live here are just completely unappetizing. And I just found that for wanting to be rid of this curse as best as I could, the very least I could, this just seemed like an ideal location where the food is unappetizing and I'm not terribly hungry.
I almost wanted to pipe in his Jen and be like, I could have told you that, presented completely without context. And just like she goes off and does something else, like, wait, what?
What, that the people are completely unappetizing?
That people are completely
They taste horrible.
unappetizing. Like, just
So-
presented
They don't
Yeah.
taste like chicken.
So we are in agreement that we will put you in contact with our higher office. You will move to where they need you to be to undergo the process.
That is acceptable, with one request. I would need help moving my books. I just can simply not be out without my books.
We can help with that.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, but
We've got a sorcerer.
let's just say,
Would you like to see?
of
Yes,
course,
please.
And he moves to the staircase and starts moving up the staircase with just unnatural grace, as you would imagine. A
I'm
creature
probably
like this.
right
Am,
up
am,
his
am,
butt
am,
with
I
no
am I
grace.
detecting any come further into my parlor, said the spider to the fly here?
Let's do an insight check on that, shall we?
All right.
We have a method of determining this.
Should I as well,
Uh,
since I basically said I'm up his butt?
If you would like, sure.
I would extract Dren from my butt.
No, not
and,
your butt, the vampire's butt.
That would be 18 total.
You're not picking up. Yeah, so you've been around predatory creatures before.
Mhm.
And you've also been around predatory creatures that are not actively hunting.
Mm.
And so you would pick up, you are not picking up on that,
Okay.
yeah,
Fine.
that feeling like,
Okie dokie.
Dred's looking for books.
so he brings you upstairs, or he goes upstairs, and again, very, very darkly lit.
I've
But
got
I'm gonna try to
dark
think. But
vision,
no,
I don't
you've
care.
got dark vision. Corbin's got dark vision. Thonic, are you going upstairs?
Oh,
Sonic
yes.
probably just looks upstairs.
Pokes his head around the corner. Because,
It's a puppy.
Just BFG style.
Apparently, he wanted to say hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Bumpers.
let me check. It doesn't look like I do.
I don't think that the Fearbulk do have dark vision.
No, I don't.
So you guys obviously have no issue seeing, and Thonic, it's very, very dimly lit. But
Hugon
he-
has no idea what's going on.
Hugon's like crossed arms, like halberd, like
Oh, I'm,
leaning.
I'm totally gonna fill him in using the
Okay.
wrist bracer.
Which he has just like up against his ear, just like constantly waiting.
yeah, by
for-
this point, Hugon's finally figured out how to use it properly.
Yeah.
So and you see there's he walks down this hallway. It's not a very large hallway. But he excuse me. He there's like a doorway into a room, and the room looks very small and dingy and not very big at all, and pretty much empty. And you see,
Sensing a pocket dimension.
and what he does is he closes the door and then he reopens it. And he fiddles it a certain way and reopens it. And it's this longer
hallway looking thing.
Hallway, yeah, exactly. It's got a bench down the middle. There's torches lit. Well, not torches, more like lamps, because you don't want open flame around books.
Undead. Yeah.
But it's probably a good 50, 60 feet straight down, kind of narrow, only about 10 feet wide. But it's just floor to ceiling, 10-foot ceiling of just bookshelves.
Do I
And
see
How
him
many
doing
books
the door
do I
thing?
reckon? How many books do I reckon?
a lot. I'm trying to think of how many books would you fit to a shelf.
Right,
I mean,
so regardless, I just look at him and I'm like, yeah, we can help.
yeah, let's see. I know we do that.
I'll look at him and I'll be like, see, this is what we call a teeth dryer. It's like, no. Because my brain is going, we can pass books through Dren's satchel to head office
Mhm.
without having to ship them.
Oh.
And
As long
also
as there's
my
someone on the
bag of
other end.
holding.
Yeah, as long as there's someone on the other end, we can either put them all in the bag of holding and send the bag of holding through, get them to unpack them and send the bag of holding back,
Right.
or get them through one at a time.
There you go.
Do I see him doing the thing with the door?
Yeah.
Do I see how he does it?
Perception check.
Perception.
-7.
I actually have a positive. It's okay.
Remember, no, you have disadvantage because you got a vampire's butt in your face. You are literally on his ass, remember?
21.
You.
There's almost a 1, and then it rolled to the 19.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to determine. You're able to see how he kind of like. There was like almost looked like it was mechanical, like how he activated the door.
Oh, yeah, if it's
Vampires are
mechanical.
secret
Okay.
fucking doors into
I want to
fucking-
close it, and I want to do the thing, and I won't open again.
And now it's it's back to being the other room,
I close it and open again.
and now it's back to being the library.
I close and open.
Yes,
I'm
and
going to do this at least like a dozen times.
I literally put my foot in front of the door.
Every time she does this thing, it goes, ooh, wow.
Literally, if she closes it, opens it,
yeah.
and then closes it, opens it,
Mm-hmm.
the foot is in front of the door.
Because you know that this is gonna be the next 10 minutes.
Yes,
Click, click.
exactly.
Click, click, open.
Be like if Dren discovered that discovered the refrigerator is in the light in the refrigerator. Oh, does it really go off? Does it really go off?
Yeah, basically. And then if he's to stick his foot in the door, I'd be like, I want it even more now.
Not foot in the door. I'm literally putting my front, like I am stepping in between the door and the door frame.
So now there's
That's
a
fine.
dwarf.
Wait, so,
There's a dwarf
yeah.
doorstop.
Yeah, so when it closes and it hits foot, I'm going to open it. I'm going to see Corbin. I'd be like, I want it more now.
And I'm going to look at her and go, that's fine, but you can buy me dinner first.
Okay. She is probably completely oblivious and is just like, fine, I don't care. Dinner, whatever.
and Hasim says, as you can see, this is a collection that I've been building for, quite frankly, several
She
lifetimes.
starts like packing up the books for him, throwing it in her bag.
No. Literally,
Get out.
the moment she starts moving towards the thing, there's just a hand on her head, hitting her to the floor.
She just keeps like reaching. Just
Get out.
And I'm going to look at him and I'm like, as long as you're okay with us taking our time putting them across, or they're there for your arrival or whatever, then yes, we will completely be willing to help move these.
He says, no, that I as long we have to be, there's some volumes that we'll need to be careful with because they are very, very old. And I would
Well,
probably
I'm
wish...
not going to throw them.
No. I just mean, there's some that I will probably need to transport myself, and it's no offense to
fine.
anyone.
No,
Here.
I wasn't expecting to have to do all of them. Like, I can understand if you've got like Tobin Spirit Guide or like.
I actually have the very first edition.
Holy shit! Anyway.
He says, "Yes, I was a collector. Well, even in my previous life, but
I remember when it first printed.
I was
back
there.
when no one knew about
This
it."
man's some black horn rimmed glasses.
It's an autograph.
And some skinny jeans.
He says, but I've just spent several lifetimes collecting these, and
I understand what it's like to care for tomes. I spent many years as a librarian myself. So yes, I completely understand the need for certain tomes to be transported in person. But at which point I open the Documenta satchel
I'm staring.
and I produce the requisite forms
oh, so are you pulling it out of your travel box, out of your?
out of my because the writing desk doesn't travel.
Oh no, it does. Remember, it compacts down, or you're not bringing it with
what
you.
What am I going to put it on?
Oh, that's true.
Like it doesn't float.
No,
Then-
yet. No, it's. Aha!
That's we know what level 3 is.
Psychic
Well,
dictation.
Floating disc.
I will pull out the requisite form for now, and I'll get out a quill, and I'll be like, "Look, we've about covered everything we can do here. It may take a day or so for us to arrange your travel, but all we need to do is sign on the dotted line, cross the T's, and dot the lowercase J's."
And so he reads to, and so the contract is basically for, it's like almost like a bill of lading for moving said books.
Yep.
And this is for him moving to the underground facility, vacating the
For
premises.
now.
For now, until
it is established that he moves on to
once that happens with HQ and
Yeah.
and
and that is not to say that we're just going to ignore him or whatever.
mm-hmm,
We will still completely like until he leaves for HQ,
mm-hmm,
he can still have access to the room for his books and things like that.
mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's going to take a couple of days for HQ to be like, right, this is how we're going to
Mm-hmm.
transport him. So
He says, I think we have an accord, and he signs his name.
Mhm.
But he signs it like the symbols that he uses are of
ancient,
are what?
old.
Yes, they're older, and it's not even like a Faerunian. It's you've recognized this from writings from further to the east, from other.
So I'll look at him and I'll just say, what do your friends call you?
Before, my name is Hasim.
Well, Hasim, I hope this works for you, and I think we'd like to see you come back in being Hasim, of course, and not, you know what I'm saying.
I do understand.
It's nice to be able to help people in non-violent ways. Do you happen to know anything about a certain Duke?
He says, alas, I've never taken an interest in local politics. My studies have been almost exclusively almost exclusively on the Feywild, the Shadowfell.
Corbin is going to kind of point out the fact that he and his retinue aren't from around here.
Mm-hmm.
They should taste pretty good.
By this point, you've probably been.
No, that's a joke.
Yeah, you've been sprinkled long enough.
No, I meant the Duke and his retinue.
Oh.
I was going to send the vampire up to the Duke. But no, I'm not doing it. The incredibly powerful vampire. Hey man, 2 birds with 1 stone. And he'll look over and he'll be like, and he'll let Hasim know where they're staying, and be like, contact us if you need anything before you leave. And then once you're in wherever head office needs you to go, we'll make sure you get your Tums.
This is most appreciated. Well, I know that part of this is that you were looking to purchase the property for what sounded like business opportunity.
Don't ask.
Well, I do know that time can be of the essence with real estate development, so I will gather what possessions I can this evening and move to the new temporary facility.
That's appreciated.
So that way you can begin your project. I would just ask that please, until you're ready to move my books, that we please leave the room as is.
At which point, I'm fairly sure at this point, Corbin and Hugon have worked out a little Morse code tap
Mm-hmm.
for summon Dren.
Ah.
So while Dren's busy trying to get the door to open and close, I tap this out.
Like,
try and
not
get-
nonchalantly, just
Yeah.
Click, click, click.
So I'm gonna do that so that then Hugon can be like, "Oh, Dren, I need to speak to you outside for a minute or whatever."
How would you
Mason,
get
There's a door.
how would you get Dren's attention?
Blow something up.
I found something shiny.
Dren, there's an actual fire that needs fought with more fire.
Yes, on it. Bolts down the stairs.
All right, and the moment she's out of earshot, I turn to the guy and go, "You might want to change the combination on the door.
Duly noted.
You just need to let me know what it is so that when you get where you're going, we can get you your books."
He says, duly noted.
Entire time in the background, you've heard Thuna going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Not my luggage.
Hmm?
Right, okay.
Were you counting the books, or is just memorizing the combination?
He's counting the books.
5 at a time. You
1,
got
2, 3, 4, 5. That's the combination I have on my luggage.
so Thunuk, you get to like many 5s.
Mhm.
Many 5s.
Many 5s.
Many 5, and then 5.
Many lots.
Oh, jeez.
Many lots of 5s.
That's a lot of 5s.
There's a lot of 5s. And you're not even close to having really gotten in there. It's just stacked. And the shelves are like a combination of like the normal bookshelves, and then there's like the little compartments for folios. You know, like the rolled folios, like in scrolls.
Right.
And so there's it's quite the impressive collection, and it has that smell. You know, libraries just have that smell of like paper, and like there's that mustiness for like if you ever open up a book that was like from like the 50s or the 60s, how it just has that mustiness to it.
Used bookstore smell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will, having sorted that out, I will bid Hasim good day and see myself out.
Okay. So is there anything that you'd want to accomplish prior to Hasim moving his things out and starting to talk about and deal with renovation the following morning?
Well, I have to sort stuff out with head office.
Okay, so you got your forms and
Mhm.
many forms.
I figured that we're going to go back to the office and have a meeting about, I don't know, decor and the menu and
Where we're actually going to get our coffee from,
yeah.
because that hasn't been established.
Well, you know that there's farms up in the mountains just above Pinedale. That's what sparked the whole idea.
Right, but we've got to negotiate.
This is true. You need to get your trade
Source.
And we also have
relations.
to collect our money from the guard.
Well,
There-
we'll have to wait a couple of days for that
Right, of course.
because the vampire's not actually left town yet.
Oh, it was just leave the building.
Oh, it was just leave the building.
If we can get him
Wow.
out of the building.
Can we negotiate to get him out of the other building as well? Just have him move backwards and forwards. We'll make
Well,
a fucking fortune.
Hugon never specified what that meant. Get him out of the building.
Okay.
So
So, like, if
I
every
said,
time
I
he
think
goes
his
out
exact
shopping,
words is, "We can get rid of him,
it was.
but
Anyway.
it's going to cost you."
so let's cut back to the office at this point. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say it is 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, so I think this would be a good place for us to take a break, and then we
Indeed.
can come back and
And
talk
get
about
deep into
menus
this.
and renovations and
Yes.
decor and
We
all
have
of the
to name
things
it.
that you real estate nerds and you people who watch TLC, and believe me, I'm one of them.
HGTV.
Exactly. We're gonna do Eat, Drink, Roll TV. EDR HDTV.
I have been trying my darndest because I've been streaming nearly every day. So,
Mhm. So, but we're going to come back in just about 5 minutes after all of us help do the things that we need to do for Jacques the Poop Smith to be able to do his job.
Stop bringing him up.
And we will be back in just a few minutes.
oh god, code red.
He's out of
I'm out
coffee.
of coffee.
Deep within the core of the forest can be heard and hear a spirit song sealed from long before. Now awaken to devour the essence of our soul.